morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about something that I believe could change the trajectory of your life if you take it seriously, learning to control your mouth, mind, mood, and money. The words you speak are not just sounds that leave your mouth. They are the building blocks of your reality. Every time you speak, you're creating something, whether you realize it or not. Words have the power to shape our thoughts, influence our emotions, and determine the trajectory of our lives. You see, the universe responds to what you declare, and your life will follow the path of your spoken words. Think about this. When you speak life, hope, and encouragement, you invite those very things into your reality. But when you speak defeat, negativity, and doubt, you are essentially creating barriers that prevent growth and success. Your words are not neutral, they are active, they are potent, and they carry weight. In the beginning, when the world was created, there was God said. It was by spoken word that the universe came into existence. The power of speech is not something to be taken lightly. The ability to create and destroy is in your hands. The words you choose to speak today will directly influence the world you experience tomorrow. It's easy to fall into the trap of speaking what we see, what's immediate, what's obvious. But faith doesn't work that way. Faith speaks what isn't as though it is. When you speak life, even in the middle of chaos, you're tapping into a higher reality. You're declaring something greater than what's happening around you. Your words are a declaration of what you believe is possible, and by speaking them, you're aligning your life with that belief. Think about the words you say to yourself. Do you tell yourself you're not good enough? That you'll never make it? Or do you encourage yourself with affirmations of victory, strength, and growth? The words you speak to yourself are some of the most powerful words you'll ever hear, and they will ultimately guide your actions. What you say about yourself is what you will become. If you constantly declare, "I'm not good enough," that is what your life will reflect. But if you start speaking, "I am capable, I am strong, I am worthy of success," you will start to see that shift happen, not just in the world around you, but in your heart and mind as well. The way you speak also has the power to shape the atmosphere around you. Imagine walking into a room, speaking words of encouragement, positivity, and peace. The atmosphere changes because your words carry energy. You set the tone. Your words can build people up or tear them down. Your words affect your relationships, your career, and your future. They have the power to open doors or close them. If you are speaking failure and discouragement, you're closing doors before you even try to open them. But when you speak life, hope, and possibility, you create opportunities, you create momentum. You set in motion things that you might not even see right away. The reality is this: words are seeds. Every word you speak plants something in the ground of your future. And just like with any seed, it's going to grow. The question is, what are you planting? What kind of fruit do you want to see in your life? Because the words you speak today will produce the harvest you see tomorrow. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you have, but it's also the most vulnerable battleground you will ever face. Every day there is a war waging in your thoughts, a constant battle between the truth of who you are and the lies that try to convince you otherwise. The battle isn't fought with swords or shields. It's fought with ideas, with beliefs, with what you choose to accept and entertain in your mind. This is the battlefield of the soul. And if you can learn to win this battle, you will find victory in every area of your life. The mind doesn't just passively receive information, it actively shapes how we experience life. The way you think about your circumstances will directly influence how you respond to them. If you see obstacles as insurmountable mountains, that's how they'll appear to you. But if you see them as stepping stones or opportunities for growth, suddenly they become part of the journey, not the end of it. The key isn't in changing your circumstances, it's in changing the way you think about them. Thoughts are like seeds. What you plant in your mind will eventually grow into your reality. If you plant seeds of negativity, doubt, and fear, you will produce a harvest of anxiety, indecision, and frustration. But if you plant seeds of faith, hope, and possibility, you begin to cultivate a mindset that sees opportunity even in the midst of challenges. But here's the challenge: not every thought is true. Not every thought is aligned with who you really are or what you were created for. The enemy of your soul doesn't attack you with obvious lies, but with subtle thoughts that distort the truth. Thoughts like "you'll never make it," "you're not good enough," or "this will never work for you." These thoughts come in quietly, and if left unchecked, they begin to shape how you view yourself and your future. This is why it's critical to take control of your mind. It's a battlefield where your greatest victories and defeats are decided, but you don't have to be a passive participant. The Apostle Paul tells us to take every thought captive, 2 Corinthians 10:5. This means we have the authority to decide what thoughts we entertain and which ones we reject. Just because a thought enters your mind doesn't mean it has a right to stay there. Your mind is a space you need to protect. You wouldn't leave your front door open to strangers all day, letting anyone and everyone walk into your house uninvited. In the same way, you shouldn't leave your mind exposed to every thought that crosses your path. Guard it, protect it, and be intentional about the thoughts you allow to take root. It's also important to recognize that your mind doesn't just operate in isolation. It's deeply connected to your emotions. If your mind is full of negativity, your emotions will follow suit. And if your emotions are running wild, they'll fuel more negative thinking. It's a vicious cycle. But the good news is you can break it. You can take authority over your thoughts. And in doing so, you can begin to shift your emotions and your entire perspective. The mind is a battlefield, but it's also a place of great potential. When you choose to fill your mind with positive, empowering thoughts aligned with who you are and what you're capable of, you begin to unlock a whole new realm of possibility. When your thoughts align with your purpose, your mind becomes the most powerful tool at your disposal. It becomes a place where dreams are born, where strategies are formed, and where faith grows. It becomes the very place where you take back control, where you decide that the narrative of your life will be one of victory and not defeat. In this battle, your mindset will either empower you or limit you. You have to choose which side you're going to fight for. Are you going to let the negative voices, the self-doubt, and the fear win? Or are you going to rise up and choose to believe that you have what it takes to overcome every obstacle? Because if you can win the battle in your mind, you will find that you have already won the battle for your life. Your mood is not something that should control you, rather, it's something you should learn to control. Emotions are powerful, and they can have a profound impact on how you navigate life. However, emotions are temporary, they ebb and flow, and they often arise without warning. The key to emotional mastery is recognizing that while you may not be able to control every feeling that comes your way, you have full control over how you respond to those emotions. The truth is, emotions are meant to be felt, not to be ruled. It's normal to feel sad, angry, frustrated, or even elated. These emotions are part of the human experience, and they give color and depth to life. But when we allow our emotions to dictate our actions, we can find ourselves making rash decisions or spiraling into negativity, which often leads to regret. Your emotions can drive you to take action, but they should not be the driver of your life. When you experience anger or frustration, it's easy to let those emotions control you. You may find yourself snapping at others or making decisions in haste, but your mood does not have to define your actions. Emotions are responses to external situations or internal thoughts, but they do not hold the power to shape your destiny unless you allow them to. When you can separate your emotional responses from your decisions, you gain the ability to respond rather than react. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings, it means recognizing them and choosing how to deal with them in a constructive way. Mastering your mood is about emotional intelligence. It's about becoming aware of what you're feeling in any given moment and choosing a course of action that aligns with your highest values and best interests. Emotions often arise from situations that are out of our control, but how we choose to handle those emotions is always within our control. When you learn to step back and observe your feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them, you create the space needed to make thoughtful, intentional decisions. In moments of stress or anger, many of us experience an immediate physiological reaction. Our hearts race, our breath shortens, and our minds go into fight or flight mode. But emotional mastery involves recognizing these physiological signs early on and taking deliberate steps to regain your composure. Taking a deep breath, pausing for a moment, or even stepping away from a situation allows you to reconnect with a place of calm, which gives you the clarity to act with wisdom instead of emotion. Another key element of emotional mastery is empathy. Understanding that other people's moods and emotions are not about you, but are a reflection of their own experiences and struggles can help you respond with kindness rather than frustration. When you realize that emotions are often projections of internal battles that others are fighting, you can approach difficult situations with compassion instead of defensiveness. Emotional maturity means recognizing the emotional landscapes of those around you while still maintaining control of your own responses. Furthermore, emotional mastery is about choosing peace. You can't control what happens to you in life, but you can always control how much power you give to external circumstances over your peace of mind. Life will bring challenges, people will disappoint you, situations will test you, and plans may fail. But when you choose peace over panic, joy over bitterness, and patience over frustration, you take back the power over your emotional state. You're not a prisoner to your circumstances. Your peace, your joy, and your emotional state are yours to govern. Mastering your mood also means being kind to yourself. Sometimes you won't feel your best, and that's okay. It's important not to condemn yourself for feeling negative emotions. Instead, accept them, process them, and then make the choice to move forward in a healthier, more balanced way. Your emotional state is fluid, and it's okay to experience ups and downs. What matters is that you don't let your emotions become the ruler of your life. Instead, learn to navigate them with wisdom, understanding, and patience. Your mood doesn't define who you are, but how you manage your mood will define the course of your life. It's about choosing emotional resilience, choosing to rise above the fluctuations of feelings and stand firm in a place of stability. When you have mastery over your mood, you're not tossed around by every wave of emotion. Instead, you become a steady force anchored by self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and inner peace. By mastering your mood, you take control of your emotional energy and free yourself to create a life where you respond with clarity, where you're able to handle adversity with grace, and where your emotional state doesn't dictate your future. You become the creator of your emotional landscape, not the victim of it. Money is often viewed as the ultimate tool for success, but in truth, it is not the end goal, it's a means to an end. Too many people chase wealth for the sake of wealth itself, only to find that the pursuit of money without purpose leads to emptiness and dissatisfaction. Money in and of itself is neutral, it's neither good nor bad. It's what you do with it that matters. How you manage it, how you spend it, and how you think about it shapes the life you will live. This is why money is a matter of stewardship, not ownership. Stewardship means managing something on behalf of someone else. It's an acknowledgement that everything we have, including our finances, is ultimately entrusted to us. We are not owners of our wealth, we are stewards of it. The money you have today is not just for your personal gain, but for the purpose it serves in your life and the lives of others. When you approach money with the mindset of stewardship, you begin to see it as a tool that can either be used to build something meaningful or squandered without thought. When you understand that wealth is entrusted to you, it changes the way you think about it. You stop seeing it as something to hoard or as an end to itself. Instead, you recognize that your financial resources are meant to serve a higher purpose. Whether it's providing for your family, supporting causes you believe in, or investing in your own personal growth, money should be viewed as a means to fulfill a greater mission, not as something to cling to for security or status. Too many people are trapped in a cycle of consumerism, believing that accumulating more money will bring them lasting happiness. They work long hours, sacrifice relationships, and forgo joy in the hope that more money will fill the void. Yet once they acquire it, they find that the void is still there. This is the danger of misplacing your value in wealth. You begin to believe that it will solve all your problems. But money, while necessary, is not the solution to all of life's challenges. Wealth, when misused, can enslave you rather than set you free. True financial freedom comes not from having more, but from having a healthy relationship with money. It comes from understanding that you can be wealthy without being obsessed with wealth. It comes from learning to manage what you have, not coveting what you don't. Money doesn't define your worth. It's simply a tool that reflects how well you steward your resources. When you treat money as a tool, it no longer has power over you. You become the one who decides how it is used, invested, and shared. The Bible speaks often about the importance of managing money wisely. It calls us to be wise in our financial decisions, to save and invest for the future, to give generously, and to avoid the love of money, which can be a root of all kinds of evil. Stewardship is about making choices that honor not just yourself, but also others. When you manage your money wisely, you create the opportunity to bless others, to create opportunities for those in need, and to support causes that align with your values. The practice of generosity is also central to being a good steward of wealth. Money is meant to flow, not to stagnate. The more you give, the more you realize that money is not a means to an end, it's a means of blessing. Stewardship calls for an open hand, one that receives but also gives. The more we give, the more we recognize that wealth is not meant for selfish accumulation, but for making a positive impact on the world around us. At the same time, stewardship also requires discipline. You cannot be a good steward without having a plan for your money. This involves budgeting, saving, investing, and setting financial goals. Without a plan, your money will slip through your fingers without you even realizing it. Stewardship requires intentionality. It's about making choices today that will serve you, your family, and your community tomorrow. It's about making sure that your financial resources are aligned with your values, not just your desires. Money management is not just about keeping track of your income and expenses. It's about making choices that reflect who you are and what you believe in. How you handle your money reveals what is truly important to you. Are you spending it on things that align with your values? Are you investing in your future and the future of those you love? Are you giving to those in need, creating opportunities for others to thrive? Good stewardship requires both wisdom and generosity. It involves making decisions with both the short-term and long-term in mind. It's about being responsible, but it's also about knowing when to take risks, when to give, and when to trust that God will provide. In this way, money becomes a tool that serves not only your needs, but also the greater good, helping you to build a life that has purpose beyond the accumulation of wealth. When you adopt the mindset of stewardship, you begin to experience true financial freedom. Instead of being consumed by your wealth, you're freed from its grip. You are empowered to make decisions that are wise, intentional, and meaningful. And when money is used as a tool for purpose, it becomes something much greater than just a means of survival. It becomes part of a legacy you create, one that impacts not just your own life, but the lives of others for generations to come. In life, balance is essential. We often focus on one area, whether it's money, emotions, our thoughts, or our words, thinking that success in one aspect will compensate for deficiencies in the others. But true fulfillment doesn't come from focusing all your energy on just one area. It comes from balancing these four essential aspects: your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money. When all of these elements are in harmony, you are not just surviving, you are thriving. Let's begin with the mouth. Words shape our reality, and when we speak carelessly or out of alignment with our true purpose, we create an environment of chaos and confusion. But words alone are not enough. They must be balanced with clarity and thought, control of emotion, and a healthy approach to wealth. If you speak with great ambition, but your thoughts are disorganized or your mood is unpredictable, your words won't have the power to lead you to success. On the other hand, speaking from a place of peace, purpose, and understanding allows you to bring others into alignment with your vision. Now let's talk about the mind. Our thoughts govern so much of our life. The mind is the control center for everything we experience and do. But if our thoughts aren't in balance with our emotions, we become overwhelmed by feelings of fear, doubt, or worry. If our thoughts aren't aligned with our words, we may find ourselves saying things that don't reflect what we believe or think is possible. When your mind is in harmony with your emotions and words, you create a powerful force for change, one that is guided by intention and clarity. This is where mastery comes in, learning to control and direct your thoughts so they serve you and don't undermine your potential. Then there's the mood, the emotional temperature of your life. Mood is where many people stumble because emotions are fluid and can change based on external factors. But when your mood is constantly shifting, you become a victim of your circumstances. The key is to balance your emotional state with your thoughts and words. When your thoughts are controlled and your words are intentional, your mood becomes more stable. You don't need to be overly reliant on how you feel to move forward. In fact, you have the ability to control how you respond to your emotions. Rather than being led by a sudden burst of anger, fear, or frustration, you learn to approach challenges with a mindset of peace, patience, and resilience. Emotional stability is not about suppressing your feelings, but about learning to channel them effectively so they don't derail your purpose. Finally, we come to money, the tool that has the power to shape your reality in tangible ways. Too many people focus solely on accumulating wealth, believing that money alone will bring them happiness and success. But money, like everything else, must be balanced with the other areas. When you focus only on earning and spending without considering your words, your thoughts, and your emotions, you can find yourself with wealth but lacking fulfillment. Money should support your values, not drive them. It should serve your purpose, not replace it. When your financial goals are in alignment with your beliefs and your emotions, you find that wealth becomes a means to expand your influence, not just your status. The challenge is finding the equilibrium between these four areas: mouth, mind, mood, and money. You cannot focus on one without the others being affected. If you neglect your emotional health, your words may become harsh or disempowering. If your thoughts are constantly cluttered and chaotic, your money will slip through your fingers because you lack a solid plan for your wealth. If you fail to control your mood, you will speak and think in ways that create negative outcomes. But when all four areas are balanced, when your thoughts are clear, your words are positive, your mood is steady, and your money is managed wisely, you find yourself walking in a greater sense of purpose, peace, and productivity. The real challenge of balance is knowing when one area needs more attention than another. Life is a constant ebb and flow, and there will be seasons where you need to focus more on one of these areas, whether that's getting your emotions in check or creating a financial plan that aligns with your goals. It's important to recognize that balance is not a static state, it's a dynamic process. You may need to adjust, realign, and reset continuously. But the more you practice managing these four areas, the more natural it becomes to maintain that harmony. The goal is not perfection, it's alignment. It's about ensuring that each area is working together, supporting the others, and moving you toward your greater purpose. When you find balance between your mouth, mind, mood, and money, you unlock a life where everything works together in a way that leads to lasting peace and lasting success. Discipline is often misunderstood. Most people see it as a rigid set of rules, a harsh method of control, or something that limits freedom. But what if discipline isn't about restriction at all? What if discipline is actually the key to true freedom and empowerment? Discipline isn't about making your life harder or stripping away enjoyment. It's about giving you the strength to live with intention, purpose, and focus. It's about creating structure in your life so that your goals, dreams, and values are not just wishes, but realities. At its core, discipline is empowerment. It's the ability to say no to distractions and impulses in order to say yes to what matters most. The world we live in is full of temptations, instant gratification, quick fixes, and shortcuts. In the face of all of that, discipline is the ability to stand firm, to choose long-term rewards over short-term pleasure, and to make decisions today that align with the person you want to be tomorrow. It's not the absence of freedom. It's the foundation for a freedom that is earned through intentionality. Discipline is not an external force imposing limits on you. It's an internal commitment to self-mastery. It's saying, I will choose my actions, my focus, and my thoughts deliberately, regardless of what's going on around me. When you have the discipline to focus, to manage your time, and to direct your energy toward your goals, you unlock a higher level of control over your life. That's when you truly experience freedom, not the freedom to do whatever you want, but the freedom to do what you know is best for you, even when it's difficult. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is its ability to create consistency. Consistency is the secret ingredient to success. You may not see immediate results from a disciplined effort, but over time, consistency builds momentum. It's the small, daily actions that compound and create massive changes in your life. Discipline helps you stick to your goals, even when motivation wanes or when things get tough. It's the willingness to show up, to do the work, and to stay committed, even when it feels like nothing is happening. That's how you make progress, not through sporadic bursts of effort, but through the steady rhythm of discipline. Discipline also nurtures focus. In a world of constant distractions, it's easy to get lost in the noise and the busyness. We all face moments where we're pulled in multiple directions, juggling tasks and overwhelmed by options. But discipline allows you to sharpen your focus, to eliminate the noise, and to invest your energy where it matters most. When you're disciplined, you are no longer at the mercy of every urgent demand. You have the power to prioritize and choose what deserves your attention. This focus, grounded in discipline, is what leads to breakthroughs in your personal and professional life. But it's not just about focusing on the big goals. Discipline also empowers you to manage the small day-to-day choices. It's in those moments when you decide to wake up early, exercise, or choose a healthy meal instead of indulging in something that doesn't serve you that your true power is revealed. Every small decision you make, when aligned with your long-term vision, builds a life of excellence. Discipline is about being intentional in every moment so that no choice is made by default, but by purpose. Another key aspect of discipline is its connection to self-respect. When you practice discipline, you show yourself that you can trust yourself to follow through. Every time you honor your commitments, whether big or small, you reinforce your belief in your own abilities. Discipline is a form of respect for your own potential. It's a recognition that you are capable of more than what your immediate impulses may suggest. It builds confidence because you realize that you don't need to wait for motivation or external circumstances to take action. You have the power within you to make decisions, to act, and to move forward. Discipline also nurtures growth. It's the constant commitment to improvement, to learning, and to becoming the best version of yourself. Through discipline, you develop the habits that shape your future, whether it's reading, exercising, meditating, or practicing a skill. These habits form the foundation for your growth. Without discipline, you may have good intentions, but without action, those intentions stay dormant. Discipline forces you to take the consistent action needed for personal development and achievement. Most importantly, discipline is a pathway to purpose. When you are disciplined, you are not just going through the motions of life, you are intentionally moving towards something meaningful. Your decisions are aligned with your values, your passions, and your mission. Discipline allows you to create a life that reflects your deepest desires rather than being driven by circumstances, emotions, or distractions. It's the ability to craft your life from the inside out with a clear sense of direction and purpose. So rather than seeing discipline as a restriction, begin to view it as the pathway to empowerment. It's the framework that allows you to step into the fullness of your potential. Discipline doesn't limit your freedom, it expands it, because it's the key to building a life of purpose, growth, and fulfillment. The more disciplined you become, the more empowered you are to shape your future, make your dreams a reality, and live a life that reflects who you truly are and who you are becoming.